today. Give me guys just 1 second. I apologize. All right, we're back. Okay. As you guys can see from the title of this video, I titled Your Job and Your Goals. Okay. Now, I want to get into something here real quick because this is pretty much the foundation of this life. Now, as you all can see, I'm in a, say it together, hotel room. Okay. The reason I'm in this hotel room is the main purpose of this video. Let's set the scene, right? So I am 12, 13 years old, and I'm kind of enjoying my life, and I'm kind of going the way my life is. And as you get to be older, you realize that, there are people that have different pathways or people that have different experiences, jobs, all that kind of stuff, right? And we build these hotels for various reasons, all right? We build them for your vacation. We build them for, believe it or not, we build them for businesses. We build them for companies. We build them for tourists. We build them for a lot of reasons. But I think a lot of them has to do with businesses and, events, okay? Because what's going to happen is your job is going to say, we need to host this event and we need you to attend. Well, we need you to fly in for it, or we need you to travel for it. Oh, and by the way, you need to be up here at this event at 8 a.m. What? I have no car. I have no way to sleep. How am I going to get there, right? Now, the transportation part is usually covered by the hotel. It's usually covered by your company and all that good stuff. That has nothing to do with this. I mean, it does, but it's not why I'm talking about this, okay? So, you're going to notice a lot of people in business attire, in business suits, the whole 9 yards, right? And the reason they are is because their job sent them there, okay? Prime example, I work for a business. I work for a company. I don't own my own company. I don't own my own business because it's not something that my life wanted, entailed, all that nonsense, okay? It's just not in my forte, right? I just don't, it's not that I don't have the capacity. It's not that I lack the capacity. I just rather not deal with the capacity of having to do those kinds of things, right? So, in saying all that to you guys, I wanted to emphasize that I work for a company that put me in this hotel. I work for a company that said, okay, we need to have an event. And in order to be at this event, we're going to put you here. Okay. I literally left where I was in a plane, came here to a different location. Guys, I say this all the time. I'm not going to disclose where I am and what place I am because of security reasons, right? It's just the world. It's the world we live in today. It's the internet. I get it. Okay. So they told me, all right, you need to be on a plane and yada, yada, yada. And you're going to be flying into this place. And then you're all going to meet at this specific location. And then y'all are going to go to your hotel rooms. And then we expect you to be at this place because we're going to put you on a shuttle that's going to leave sometime tomorrow morning to your event that we schedule you for. Now, back to the part I was trying to touch on earlier. I'm about 12, 13 years old. Granted, right now, I'm older than that, but we'll touch on that later. So, 12 to 13, I used to have to stay in a hotel because I was going to see my family. I was going someplace, with friends, and we needed someplace to stay. Or I was going to see family, and they were going to ask me, do you have a place? Okay, I'll put you in a hotel. cool, right? I just was kind of excited on being in that hotel kind of environment, you know. I was in someone's, you know, nicely freshly made bed. There was a place to go sit around. There was TVs to watch, refrigerators. There were places I could put my clothes, all you name it, okay? So I was like, man, you know, what I would give to be able to just do this all the time, okay? So I was working for a lot of jobs back when, you know, I was growing up, and I was like, man, I just want to make it, you know? And life told me that you just have to give it patience, okay? And so I did, and I got to where I was like, okay, I need purpose. So then I found the airlines, okay? And I started working for the airlines. And guys, there were a lot of times where I just wanted to quit, right? I just wanted to give up and say I'm done and this, that, and the fourth, okay? Excuse me while I have my drink. This is just Coke. Okay. Um, so, um, I was working for the airlines for a couple of years, and yeah, I wanted to throw my badge, basically meaning like walk off the job. But um, there was an occasion that my job called me for specific seasonal concerns like snow, rain, outages, closures, and all that stuff, right? And they needed us, and they said, okay, we realize that getting here is going to be a challenge, so we're going to put you in a hotel that is right by work, where you work, so that when we need you urgently, you don't have to travel 30 minutes, an hour, however long it takes you to travel. For me, it took me about 35 minutes to get there, right? This was back when I was living in the DC area, right? So they put me in a hotel about 3 minutes away from the front door of the airport, right? I was able to take the shuttle from there and then go right in there, okay? Actually, what they actually did for me was they had me go from my hotel. I actually drove my car to the hotel. They put me in the hotel that night because it was supposed to get really, really, really bad. So they allowed me to go from the hotel to the parking lot, which was like 4 minutes away. It wasn't like 30 to 40 minutes away. It was like 4 minutes away. So I did that. I took the employee bus, and then I went to the front door, and then I went through the terminal, clocked in, and yada yada yada. Went through security, all that nonsense. So the point I'm making in this video right here is that I used to think that what I wanted to do was just basically make a whole lot of money, save it aside, and go ahead and put it into hotel rooms because I want to and all that. But one thing I've noticed is that if you work hard enough and if you work in particular companies and you network, because we're going to talk about that in a different section, you've got to know how to network, folks. I'm telling you. Um, when you network, you can successfully have all of this paid for. They'll pay for you. I am legitimately, okay, I got in about, 11:15, right? We had a seminar, a real quick briefing, and then we're going to go to this event, get an orientation at this event we're going to, which is going to all happen tomorrow, and then we'll be able to leave on Wednesday, okay? All this was paid for my company, okay? And um, I was able to have them cover a hotel basically prior to then. Now, if I was basically staying in a different station and the class that I was supposed to have been put in the week before my vacation week, if I was in a different area, they would have flown me there, put me in a hotel there, and had us go through class the whole week, right? You guys see what I'm talking about here? Try and establish your workflow so you can have these benefits, these perks covered, right? It's very, very endearing to be able to come here, okay, and have them cover this for me and say, here's a hotel. You can stay for it while you're here. Now, y'all have to keep in mind that, yes, I am here. Yes, I'm in my street clothes. But hold that thought real quick. Okay? They gave me a lanyard and all that, which basically means they expect me to be in my best behavior. Now, can I have a whole lot of people in here and have a party? No. Can I consume alcohol and get sloshed? No. Okay? But they expect me to be on my best behavior. And when I'm in a hotel, what do y'all think I'm doing? I'm on my best behavior, right? I behave as though I would give this room to someone else and expect them to have the same reciprocation, right? So that's how kind of things work, with this whole business, right? Now, granted, the company I work for is a travel agency, so they want me here. They want us to be able to express that these companies that we're being put in are good businesses and we want to get them more business, okay? That's kind of the way networking happens, right? They give you a perk, you experience it, or you try it, or it's a trial run. You say, hey, this kind of thing, it works, right? You pass it on and it gives them more business, okay? But when you get to where you can just receive this as a benefit, receive this as a privilege, receive this as a perk, right? It's great. But I'm also sharing this with you guys because this isn't something that, like, I have the right to do this, right? It wasn't like, hey, I know someone, so they were able to make phone calls, they were able to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and I'm able to just go as I please, right? I had to work hard for this. Remember, I could have thrown my badge, I could have thrown my job, I could have ran off the job, right? But I didn't. Why? Because of this. I'm here because my company paid for them to do this, right? Now, granted, I can work a lot of freaking hours. I can earn a lot of freaking money, and I can do this on my own if I wanted to. Matter of fact, let's turn it around. I can actually tell the company, put me in a better hotel, a 5-star hotel, and then have them basically cover my airplane ticket. The silly thing is, I work for the airline that I flew in on. So it's kind of a slap in the face if they're like, yeah, we're going to cover your plane ticket. I'm like, I would hope so because I work for you. I make you money. I make you business money. I make you customers. It kind of works both ways. Like, I give and I take. I give and I take. It's the same thing with this hotel thing, right? I'm giving them customers because we're flying people in and out, right? That's how things flow. Without us on the ground, the plane's going nowhere. If the plane's going nowhere, then people are not going to their destination. When they're going to the destination, they're usually checking in a hotel. So we're making them, these guys, money by making us money too. So that's kind of why some of us have a partnership and an agreement with each other, okay? So, back to my original point. I encourage you to work hard at your job because eventually, if you find yourself in a career, right? Not just a job that'll give you money, a career you can establish corporate laddership, right? I'm going to use that word, corporate laddership, okay? To climb the ladder as high as you want, as far as you want, as long as you want, to be able to get this perk, right? Let's set this scene, okay? 2.5 weeks ago, I was in a company paid business trip. Now, unfortunately, it was at the same airport that I work at. It was like 15 minutes from there. But they flew people in from all over the states to do this. and they put them in a hotel. It wasn't fair to put me in a hotel because I lived 8 minutes away from the airport, and they kind of figured that out. But still, my point is that they could have put me in that hotel there. The week after, I had my paid vacation. I worked really hard and long enough for my company to give me a whole week of vacation. Now, they didn't pay my hotel. I had to pay for it out of pocket. But I paid for a pretty good hotel where I was. Okay? So I just got back from that trip. And then going back, my company yet again is paying for me to stay here so I could do this event that I'm going to be going to tomorrow. So, pretty much 2 weeks of being active for the company, on the company, within myself, I'm getting perks. It's kind of a nice feeling. Not like them saying, hey, you have to go to this event. We're not covering your hotel and we're not covering your plane ride. Okay, let's say they do cover my plane ride. Let's say they don't cover my hotel ride. I'd have to pay out of pocket about $400 for these nights because it's going to be a 4 or 5 star stay, and they're expecting me that. Like, I don't have a car, I don't have a trip, and I'm not paying 50, $60 for Uber to go all these ways. There's a hotel shuttle that'll take me from where I am to where we're going to be, right? And all this was set up already. So, yes, work hard at your job, but also dig deeper, dig in your roots, and see if you can come up with careers that allow you to enjoy this benefit. Because this is a pretty nice perk, a pretty nice benefit, guys. All right? I might have to make this short and sweet, but I wanted you guys to understand the reason that I'm given these benefits, the reason I'm given this opportunity, right? I'm not just a trust fund baby. I worked hard for this benefit, but they're giving it to me because they realize hard work. All right? I love you guys. I'm Sean the Toga Brother. Let's do this together. I'm out.